Today, we're diving into one of the most bizarre yet widely believed conspiracy theories out there, the Flat Earth theory. For centuries, we've known our world to be a vast, spinning sphere hurtling through space. Yet, a surprising number of people believe it's all a lie. From ancient texts to modern-day conspiracy theories, the idea that the Earth is flat has resurfaced, challenging everything we know about our planet. Why do so many people still hold on to this idea? Is it science, skepticism, or something deeper? In the next 10 minutes, we're breaking down the history, the beliefs, and the psychology behind one of the strangest conspiracies out there. Get ready for a journey through time, space, and the human mind. This is the Flat Earth Theory, explained. According to a 2021 survey, around 10% of Americans, 3% of people in the UK, and 7% in Brazil genuinely believe the Earth isn't a sphere.
And the Earth is...
Flat.
The Earth is flat.
My reality, my senses tell me that the Earth is flat and stationary.
Their Earth is indisputably not round.
But why? How can people believe something so easily disproven by science? Before we dig into why some people still believe the Earth is flat, let's take a look at the history behind this theory. It may surprise you to know that the idea of a round Earth was accepted by most ancient civilizations. Greek philosopher Pythagoras guessed this around 500 BC, and Aristotle backed it up in 350 BC when he saw the Earth's round shadow on the moon during a lunar eclipse. By 200 BC, Eratosthenes even calculated the Earth's circumference with astonishing accuracy using shadows. For centuries, everyone agreed, Earth is round. But then, in 1865, a man named Samuel Rowbotham published a book called Zetetic Astronomy, Earth, Not a Globe. And this marked the beginning of the modern Flat Earth movement. So what does the Flat Earth model look like? According to Flat Earthers, the Earth is a flat disk with the North Pole at the center, surrounded by a tall wall of ice. Beyond that wall, who knows? Some say you'd fall off, while others think the ice stretches on forever. Sounds wild, right? But it gets crazier. Flat Earthers believe the sun and moon are only 50 kilometers in diameter and circle above the Earth at a height of about 5,500 kilometers. They claim that this movement creates our days and nights. Some even say the moonlight is cold, not warm like sunlight. Mark Sargent, who is nearly the king of this Flat Earth community of today. According to him, sunlight is hot and moonlight is cold. His proof of this is also quite interesting. He says that in daytime, if you compare the temperatures inside and outside the house when you stand in the sun, it's hot. But if you do this at night, comparing the temperatures inside the house and outside the house with the moon in the sky, the temperature outside is cooler. Wow, what logic! Anyone can come up with stupid ideas like this. It isn't a big deal. But the problem arises when you blindly believe your stupid ideas to be the truth, without a second thought, without verifying. But Flat Earthers don't stop at pseudoscience. They also argue that religious texts support their theory. For example, they cite a verse from the Bible's book of Revelation that mentions 4 corners of the earth. Of course, this is a metaphor, like how we say all corners of the world. But they take it literally, claiming Earth must be flat or rectangular. And it's not just the Bible. Some Flat Earthers also misinterpret verses from the Quran, claiming it supports a flat Earth. However, most religious scholars agree that these interpretations are completely off. Now let's talk about the scientific experiments these Flat Earthers rely on. Samuel Rowbotham, the man behind Zetetic Astronomy, famously conducted an experiment on the Old Bedford River in the UK. He placed a flag in a boat and tracked it for 6 miles. Since he could still see the flag after this distance, he concluded the Earth must be flat. But there was one big problem: refraction. Light bends when it passes through different layers of air, just like how mirages work in the desert. Rowbotham didn't account for this, and his conclusions were, well, completely wrong. A few years later, a biologist named Alfred Wallace repeated the experiment with a few improvements and proved the Earth's curvature. So, did Rowbotham admit he was wrong? Nope. And the Flat Earth theory stuck around. Now the big question, why do people still believe this? There are 4 major reasons behind it: convenience, intuition, lack of critical thinking, and mistrust of authorities. First, convenience. It's easier to believe a simple explanation than to wrap your head around complex science. Flat Earth is simple. You look around, The ground looks flat, so it must be flat. Case closed. Second, intuition. People trust their gut feeling over science. They look at the horizon and think, hey, it looks flat, so the Earth must be flat. They don't realize that the Earth is so large that its curvature isn't noticeable to the human eye. Third, lack of critical thinking. There's something called the Dunning-Kruger effect, where people with limited knowledge overestimate their expertise. Flat earthers believe they've done their own research, but in reality, they're just repeating misinformation. And finally, mistrust of authorities. Flat earthers often believe that NASA, scientists, and even governments are part of a global conspiracy to cover up the truth. But if you think about it, why would countries like the US and Russia, who are usually at odds, team up to hide the shape of the Earth? The logic just doesn't add up. And speaking of flat Earth believers, let's talk about Mad Mike Hughes. Mike was a daredevil who made headlines for building rockets in his garage and launching himself into the sky to prove the Earth's shape.
The edge, which keeps all the oceans in, is a 150-foot ice wall, which is Antarctica.
Now, yesterday, the sun and the moon was in the sky here at the same time, which is not possible, in my belief, on a globe.
He raised money from the flat Earth community for his stunts. But after his tragic death in 2020, it was revealed that Mike never actually believed in the flat Earth theory. He was just using it to fund his projects. So, the next time someone brings up a wild conspiracy theory like flat Earth, think about the reasons behind their belief. And remember to always apply critical thinking and check your sources before jumping to conclusions.